Hello and welcome. So I was quite inspired to do this video from an interaction I had this morning with a friend of mine, and it really got me thinking about quite a lot of things and really got me feeling into things in a few different ways. So what the thing was, I was at the market doing my weekly shop. I caught up with a good friend of mine, and anyway, walked off, saw some really nice flowers, bought a bunch of flowers and gave them to her. And she was very stoked, and it was beautiful. It was like, she received them well. She gave me a hug, said she was very happy with them. I was really happy to give her the flowers, had a bit of a chat, and then I went off on my merry way to get ready for work. So on the way back, I started thinking about giving and receiving, and what actually happens sometimes within giving and receiving. And it's really about something I talked about just recently, about having a shopping list of spirit, about asking for things that you want. And when that comes up at times, people say, well, do you want it, or do you need it, or do you think you want it, or you think you need it? And actually, does it really matter, is the case. And what I've heard time and time again from my guides is that if you want something, that's okay, and to not limit yourself with that. And do you allow yourself to actually have things? And do you allow yourself to dream as well? And with that, when you do want something, do you instantly go into, oh, maybe, that's too hard to get, or maybe I don't deserve it, or if I do get it, it's going to take this long, or do you start to put up roadblocks around that? And what you can do when that happens is actually give those things space. If it's a feeling in your body, if it's a particular thing that pops up, if it's an old program or something somebody said to you, it could have been a long time ago, it could have been one of your parents saying something thinking that they're helping you, and they actually said something like, oh, those things are very hard to get and only some people can have that, or do you really deserve to have that? Those sorts of things that pop up. When they do, one of the ways that you can really transmute this is, first off, if that does pop up, give it space, acknowledge it. When you face something, when you acknowledge something, when you give it space, what it does is it kind of allows it to be free. Now, when you don't acknowledge it, when you're trying to push it away, or you kind of acknowledge it and you go, oh, I don't want to think about this, I want to think about that instead. What you're doing is, as you're wanting to go to this thing, and they're just telling me, yeah, you're actually reaching for it, you're yearning for it. What you're actually doing on the other side is you're putting all this energy into holding that thing back, that negative self-talk, that old program, that old belief, whatever it is. So you're putting a lot of energy into holding this thing back, such as, I don't deserve it, I can't have that, only some people can have that, maybe it's too good for me, whatever it is. And so because you're putting so much energy into this, you can't really open yourself up to receiving that. The other thing is when you're really grasping for it and you're really wanting to bring this in, they're saying this happens a lot with money and relationships. It also happens, you see it in other areas of work, particular professions, jobs, that sort of thing. But money and relationships are some of the really big ones, love and money. So when you allow yourself to, because when you're holding it back as well, what you do is you create a container around it, and you're trying to shut it off, you're trying to shut it away and put it aside. But it takes energy to actually shut that away, to put it aside, and to hold it at bay. When you acknowledge something, what you actually do is open the box, throw the box away, allow it to have free space, and when you really look at it and you really acknowledge what it actually is, and the fact that you thought this, said this, whatever it is, an old thing, new thing, doesn't matter, is you actually can allow it to be removed from your body when you go, okay, I'm just going to be okay with the fact that I said this. It's not about liking it. It's not about anything like that. It's just like, yeah, give it that space, give it that sort of openness, because when you give something openness and equanimity and space, it can actually, release from you, because you're not holding it to you, or you're not trying to put it away. What that also does, and what you can do, is actually put your mind back, or your feelings, your thoughts, or even still, all of those things, thinking, feeling, going into that place. It could be through your imagination, could be through meditation, could be, and they're saying action comes into this as well. When you put those things into place, action, feeling, seeing, imagining, being there, what you do is you allow it to come to you a lot quicker, and you allow yourself to receive a lot quicker, and receive on a lot more of a seamless kind of pure flow. So have a think about how much you actually hold yourself back. And it could be, I shouldn't spend that $5 on a cup of coffee. Or it could be, I really want to live in a castle one day, but I don't think I ever will. Well, why the fuck not? If you want a castle, do it. I've actually got a friend that owns a castle. So it's that thing where it doesn't matter what you actually want, it's okay. But are you going to actually give yourself permission to allow that to come into your life? And it all starts with really small things, and it is kind of, things that are going to benefit you, things that are going to be really good. And maybe getting $10 billion is really going to benefit you, because it's going to help you to be more awesome. You can share it around, you can do a lot of altruistic stuff. Maybe getting into a beautiful relationship is going to do the same thing. It's going to help you to allow you to spread more love in more of a beautiful way. Maybe that job, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. It's all kind of relative, really. But it's really about how much are you giving yourself permission to be able to receive things, and how much are you giving yourself permission to actually block the things that you want, you need, and so forth. And as all this stuff was going through my head, and I was feeling into it, and I was speaking to my guides, and I was asking them, what's going on here? What can I do? Can you give me any advice? And what came through was actually about saying to myself, they're saying proclaiming to yourself, or creating an invocation that I'm open and happy to receive all the things that I want, all the things that I need, all the things that are going to enhance my life, no matter what they are, no matter what form they are, in any possible way. And I'm going to, in any possible way that is going to uplift me, that's going to help me, that's going to be for my highest good, and is going to increase my joy, my happiness, and my connection to self and all others. Now, when I started saying these things, and I did some of those things in bits, I was like, anything that's going to really enhance my life, I'm totally open to, I'm totally going to allow into my life today. And then I go, actually, all the things that are going to benefit me, that are going to help me to benefit others, I want all that stuff too. And then I started saying all these different things, and having a bit of a laugh while I was doing it as well, which then in turn was raising my vibration, was filling me with joy, and was actually helping whatever was going to come into my life to enhance my life, whatever was going to come in to actually create more prosperity, more love, more benevolence in any way. I was actually opening up channels to all those things. So as this happened this morning, on the way back from the market, I'm going to start doing this every day for the next, I'll say 3 months. And I'm just going to take note of what actually happens here. And I'd love for you to try the same thing, to just say, yep, I'm open to any and all possibilities that I want, that I need, or that I don't know what I want or need, but they're going to enhance my life and they're going to be really awesome, and I'm going to really enjoy them, whether I have a conscious awareness or not. Bring it on, man. Bring it all on. All the most fantastic and beautiful things into my life. And just see what happens. It could be a hug from a friend. It could be catching up, having a barbecue with your family or your friends. It could be holiday, it could be money, it could be, relationships, new jobs, whatever. But try it out, because are you worth, or is your happiness or your ability to increase how much you can receive, and then in turn, the more you receive, the more you actually give when you receive gratefully, and to say, I have gratitude for all the things that I'm receiving and all the things that are coming into my life that I want, need, or are going to create more awesomeness in my life. When you do that, you actually inherently start to give more as well. And if you are listening to me and you do watch my YouTubes and weekly readings, it means that there's a person that in you are benevolent, you are loving, you are kind, you are compassionate, and you do have that altruistic view with humankind. So thank you very much for listening to me. That was fun to have a bit of a chat about that. I'd love to hear your comments and see what happens over the next few coming months. Okay, big love. Bye-bye.